game, it's not particularly good. This is far better as a speed game than it is a casual game. So I'm going to be taking this apart piece by piece. I will explain as much as I can as I go. I am going to make sure everything's working right. I'm going to make sure I have chat popped out so I can see all y'all. Got to keep an eye on you. I know what chat's like. And just sort of waiting to see. Oh, there we are. Here we are. All right. Okay, so before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that where I stand now and where I live, work, and play is part of Treaty 1 territory. It is the traditional homeland of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the heart of the Red River Métis Nation. And I wish to acknowledge with respect and reverence the care and concern these peoples have had for the land before anyone who looks like me got anywhere near here. So that's thing one. Thing two, this is Ultima II. And like I said, it is not a particularly good game. It's much more fun as a speed game than it is a regular game. If there's anything about this game you like, please come join me. I am currently the only active runner. I would love to have more people to play this game with. So I would like chat, since I've got my eye on you, to provide me with a name. The character must be male, so we're gonna start by creating a character. Actually, we're gonna start by making sure I've got the game ready to reload if I need to, because I might have to reload it. Because we need to make a character. So come on, there we go. If I try not to make a character, if I hit play a game of Ultima II, it does this. No character on disk. And the game is literally hung. It cannot go from here. So I have to close the window, reopen the window. So we need to create a character. I need a character name. I'm going to create this character with 14 strength, 36 agility, 10 across the board elseways. Steve and Dane. The character must be male. And if you'll note, this is the 80s, so males were stronger than females in the 80s in fantasy worlds. I know you can't see me rolling my eyes, but it's the way it was. Race must be elf for fastness. The type is fighter for strength. All right, and a name. First name I saw was Steve, so we're going to go with Steve. Pardon me, I have a bit of a cold, and you may notice the echo in here. That's in the building. I stream from a church sanctuary. Yes, this is satisfactory. If we try to create a new character at this point with a character on the disk, it will say not a blank player disk, and once more, we can't go anywhere from here, so I've got to close it down and open it up again. There are other ways I can make the game hard lock too. If I hold control while pushing an arrow key, that makes the game hard lock. That's always fun. So I'm not going to do any more explaining at the moment. I'm just going to get into this thing. So the first thing I do is press Control S, which mutes all sounds from the game. If you hear a sound, it probably means I've messed something up. And the next thing I'm going to do is hit P for play a game of Ultima II. And when I do that, I will start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So, okay, I'm moving across the world. You saw those illegal commands, and we've got an orc following us already. Fantastic. What I do is I two-fist my controls. I use both the keypad and the arrow keys. I come over here to Town Linda. We're going to try the double steal. The double steal is a new technique I've been coming up with. We try and steal some armor. Steal armor. It's not plate mail, it's chain. That's close enough. Okay, now we need to go steal a weapon. Stealing armor is the new part of that. It helps avoid getting hit later. Oh, there's the guards coming. We got caught. We got to try again. If this were a PB attempt, that would be a reset, but this is not. Therefore, we continue. The game autosaves whenever you change maps. So whenever you enter a town or a dungeon or a castle, steal armor. It's chain. Chain's good enough. So the game has a number of weird mechanics. For those of you who are familiar with a fellow by the name of Lord British, or Richard Garriott, oh, here come the guards again. All right, this is pretty standard. Play enter. Here we go. This was the first game that Richard Garriott programmed all by himself in assembly code, in machine code. Oh, there come the guards. All right. We'll do this one more time. If it doesn't work, we will actually go and buy a weapon and just say the heck with the double steel. We'll just grind a little more. So yeah, it's got some weird mechanics. So things like those stats that I came up with at the beginning of the game. Get out of my way. Okay, fine. We'll just buy a weapon and we'll move on. We'll grind a little more for it. It's fine. Control S. Here we go. Enter. Those stats I put in, they look like normal everyday numbers. They're not. Transact, we need a light sword. Yep, it's the best weapon I can buy, and I need it. Those numbers, while the numbers ended up at 34 and 41, I think, the game reads them as being hexadecimal numbers. So while I look at 34, the game looks at it and says, oh, that's 48 plus 4, 52. It's a very odd thing to have happen, but that's how the game uses the stats. So what's happening here? I'm committing crimes. Crimes! All sorts of crimes. Stealing food, for example. Oh, here come the guards. Let's get out of here. So this guy is a thief. Actually, he's a watch salesman. So this watch salesman stands by the door of the town and waits for me to run him through with my lightsaber. This is why I need to have the strength I've got, which is 34, which the game reads as 52, which the game says, oh, 52, that is a 52 is an 18-point bonus to damage. That math is bad. Doesn't matter. I need to be able to do 25 damage on a hit to kill this thief. Yep. As soon as I hit the thief, the guards come after me. And 52 is not 17, it's 13. You get 1 point of damage for every 4 points of strength. So 52 divided by 4 is 13. You also get 2 points of damage for every level that your weapon is at. My weapon is a light sword. That's a level 7 weapon, which means it's worth 14 damage. Damage is not randomized. Chance to hit is, obviously. But damage is not randomized, so I'm doing 27 damage every time I land a blow. Cool. The thief has 25 hit points. If I do enough damage to reduce him to less than 16, he's going to run away from me, which would be a problem. I also need a minimum of 29 strength in order to equip the armor I need to go into space, because that's a thing we're going to be doing. The guard caught me there and hit me for 100 points of damage. 101, actually. All creatures in town do an additional 100 points of damage on top of what they would normally do. This makes fighting in towns exceptionally dangerous. But we got to do it. Yikes. You'll also notice that I have to move on the 4 orthogonal directions. All other NPCs can move diagonally, and it's not fair. But so many things about this game aren't fair. Actually, it said Origin Presents at the start. When I tell you that this is a game that... we're going to go steal some more food. When I tell you that this is a game that has unfair instant deaths and very weird hints that don't actually lead anywhere, and it's a proof of concept more than anything else, there's enough food. And then I turn to you and say, it was published by Sierra Online in the 80s. And you think of King's Quest, and you go, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. So, what I'm doing here is grinding for money. I need 1,508 gold to purchase a reflect suit, which is a space suit. There are 2 types of space suit, reflect suit and power suit. You can't steal them, otherwise I'd steal them. Otherwise I'd just grind off the armor shop until I could steal a reflect suit. Can't use a power suit, I'm not strong enough. So, we can't steal those, so we have to buy it. It's 1,508. In addition to that, I need to purchase some hit points. And hit points cost 50 gold for 300. So I'm grinding to 1658 since I didn't steal any good armor. 1658 will give me an additional 900 hit points, which should be enough to get me through to when I do my second grind, because there is more than one grind in this game. But the other thing I'm also getting, the reason I'm popping this guy, is because thieves carry items with them. And every time I kill a thief, I get a random item. There's a huge list of items. Most of them are completely useless. You'll find things like gems, like red gems and green gems. They do nothing. Hello, Orc. Orc, would you please not live anymore? Thank you. I'll show you the list. Wands, staves, great for casting spells. Not useful right now, because I'm not going to be casting any spells. Boots and cloaks are defensive things. They can be useful. Helms, let me see the area around. Gems, not important. Onks, very important, but I only need one. Red gems, not important. Skull keys, very important, only need one. Brass buttons, only need one. Blue tassels, only need one. Strange coins, need as many of them as I can get. 7 is enough. Trilithiums, 7 is enough. So, we actually don't need to check our item list anymore. I just need enough money now. So this thief is going to get killed a number of times. If I had stolen, actually interestingly, if I had stolen some plate armor, I could feasibly move on from here and do a different gold grind. But it would be, I'm not sure how I would do it. I'd be improvising at that point because I've never done that. But the big deal is that I got my trilithium. I have finished my gold grind before and not got enough strange coins or trilithium. And that makes the rest of the game, well, not getting enough trilithium. I need 6 at least to do the rest of the game. If I don't get that 6, I simply can't win. Not getting enough strange coins just makes certain parts of the game much more difficult. Don't be hating on brass buttons. I'm not hating on brass buttons. I just only need one. A brass button lets you fly an airplane. Because of course it does. What else would you use to fly an airplane? But of course you want to get into that airplane in the first place. That's what you need the skull key for. The skull key lets you into the airplane. The brass button lets you fly it. The Ankh will let you into the space shuttle. And that's where you need the trilithium. Come on, go away. Go very much away. Thank you. Stop living. 1200, okay. So the gold is distributed, it's an odd number between 1 and 17. What it does is it rolls a number between 1 and 9, doubles it, and subtracts 1. There is no logic to it. It's just a random number between 1 and 9 doubled and 1 less than that. So I could get a whole string of 1s. I could get a whole string of 17s. I know which I would prefer, because I know it's not particularly interesting watching me come in here and kill the same thief over and over and over again. It's not particularly interesting to do it. I used to refer to this game as 60% grind by volume. Oh my goodness. It helps when I'm actually attacking the thing I'm attacking. It also doesn't matter in this game whether you have a bow and arrows or a phaser. There's no such thing as ranged attacks in this, except for the end boss, Minax, has a magic missile spell that she can cast at a distance, and other enemies have spells they can cast at a distance. My spells, if I were ever to use any, only work in dungeons and towers, and I never go into dungeons and towers, so there's no point in getting spells. Okay, 1449, we're getting there. 15 gold, there we are, 7, 22, 13 gold, 17. My arm's getting tired. 15, 17. I have enough money for the armor now, but not enough to survive what needs to come after that, because I got to kill some guards. So that guard that's chasing me, all guards carry 2 keys. We need keys to finish the game. Therefore, in order to beat this game, at some point, you have to kill a guard. There's no 2 ways about it. In fact, you have to kill several. You can get away with some of it without it, but you do eventually need to kill a guard. 1619, we're getting closer. 1624. So yeah, someone mentioned being virtuous. Virtue doesn't come into it until Ultima 4. We don't have to be virtuous in any of the games before that. All right. There's our money. Now, if I'd stolen plate armor, I wouldn't go back into Town Linda, but I didn't, so I'm going to. I would go past it and buy my reflect suit later. Reflect, yes, remember to wear it, otherwise you explode. It literally says that when you go into space, the game just locks and says, you have exploded. Pass turns until the time gate opens up again. Get into the time gate. And here we are in the modern day. We were in 1423 BC. Now we're in the distant future of 1990 AD. There we go. And I killed enough wandering monsters to get an extra 100 hit points, or extra 50 or 300 hit points. Port Boniface. We're going to steal the grass. That gets the guards mad at me, and I need to kill a guard. There we go. Now, if I look, I've got 2 keys in the upper right corner there. That's what I need. Check again for my strange coins. 13. Fantastic. What a good haul. Strange coins let me negate time. Like this. Negate time. Now, you might notice things are still moving around. Negate time only affects things that are hostile. The other thing that just happened there, I'm able to use the ship's cannons to fire at enemies, including guards, to get more keys. That's an invincible guard. There we go. Negate time. Get around the sea serpent. And negate time again to get around those sea serpents. And out we go. We now have a ship. We need a blue tassel to get on the ship. If we didn't get a blue tassel, we wouldn't be able to get on the ship. We're just going to go over here to New San Antonio. This is normally where I'd buy my armor if I'd managed to steal some plate. There's the armory. We're not going to go there. I need to open these doors. 1. Negate time here. 2. 3. And that gets me around that fighter who's hostile. Board the plane and launch. And away we go. Now we fly to Australia. Go through the time gate. Fly up here. That's Minax's castle. This is the time of legends. We're going to kite these monsters up here, which opens this gate up here and puts me in the aftermath. The distant future of like 2020 something or other. Minax decided this is called Revenge of the Enchantress. In the first game, in Ultima, you killed Mondain, the wizard. Minax, the Enchantress, was his associate, his apprentice, his lover. This is her revenge. She goes and causes World War III. CCCP test launch. We hyperwarp engage. Hello, Nguyen, yeah. We are going to hyperwarp to Uranus 946. This is the only break I get in the game. 2113, thank you. And now we're going to land on Uranus. If I miss my landing and don't land in open grass, I am instantly dead. I didn't. This is the village of New Jester. These are jesters. They're set to pursue, but not to attack. They're not hostile. They're just pursuing. They just get very close. This could be a problem, because as soon as you attack them, they become hostile. But again, I'm going to fire ship's cannons at them, and firing cannons at something is not attacking it. So, I can fire the ship's cannons at them, kill them for gold, and then just leave and come back. The magic number here is 1,250. I'm looking for 1,250 gold. I also need to get some more food here. Fortunately, there's Jack in the Box. And down we go. And back in. Yep. Yep. If you're curious as to what one of those magic helmets does, I can use it to view the town map. Like that. It just shows you what a weird place New Jester is. I'm actually using time like that to get a drink of water because I am actually fighting a bad cold. Don't worry, it's just a bad cold. I've tested. I'm getting some really bad rolls. Normally I would have about 200 more gold than that from this. Yep. Yep. And down. And we just kill a bunch of jesters. Kill a bunch more jesters. Yeah, my gold grind here is going to be a little bit slow. So my next, my gold grind here, I'm trying to accomplish, I need 500 gold to purchase the ring. The ring is extremely important. You cannot beat the game without the ring. I also need as much money as I can get. So I said 1250 is my usual go-to. So 500 gold for the ring, 750 for more hit points. Because I'm going to need them. Minax, as I said, has a magic missile attack. The magic missile attack does 100 damage every time... Oh, hello. Every time I get within 3 steps of her, which means I'm always going to take 300 points of damage every time I approach her, and then 100 more every time I miss my attack. Now, my theory as to chance to hit. My agility is, I believe it's 41, and the game reads that as 65. My theory is that with this weird mixing of hexadecimal and decimal numbers, that 65 is a straight up 65% chance to land a hit. That's my theory. That has no confirmation whatsoever. That could be a 65 out of 128 for all I know. There's the indestructible jester. There's one indestructible character in every town. And that one is that one. He can't be hit. I've got enough money now, but I need food, so I'm going to do one more loop. Fire the cannons at them. Clown is a terrible thing to cannon. That's the invulnerable one. We're just going to do the unthinkable and buy food. Right? I know. Who buys food? So if this is the sort of nonsense that looks appealing to you, by all means, there's an Ultima Speedrunners Discord. Please feel free to join us. We're going to go back into space here. I'm going to hyperwarp to 999. And join us there. I run the first 4 games, thinking about picking up the 5th at some point, because I think the pentathlon would just be a load of fun. Aussie here does the same thing that Lord British does. Gives us hit points in exchange for money. And we'll work our way right down to there. Now we need to go and get Father Antos's blessing. This is all stuff that gets hinted to you, but we're going to punch this guard. And he's going to chase me out here. Going to negate time and run around him. That guard hit me twice. Going to negate time again. There we go. This is Father Antos. You have earned my blessing. Return and claim the ring. And if we had talked to people and got hints, we would have found that an old man under a tree has the ring. So to go back, we're going to go back to Earth. Earth is located at coordinates 666, which I'm sure means nothing whatsoever. As much time as you spent playing Ultima, you haven't joined the Ultima Speedrunners. Lord of the Synth, join us! This is the hardest landing. And the worst part about that landing is the game does not save when you're not on Earth. You can't save when you're on Uranus or Planet X or anywhere else. So, if I had died in that landing, I would have reloaded back at Pirates Harbor before I'd launched, before I'd done any of the Jester grind. We're going to go back through here behind the armory. Here's a tree And this guy says, I'm an old man. There's the offer command, south. Offer him 500 gold. The ring is yours. And that's that. Now we have the ring. We're going to go back over here past Iolo and Gwen. We're going to use 3 more keys. Negate time to get past this fighter. We can also kill that fighter, but that gets the guards on our case. Launch the plane. Once more return to Australia. To the time of legends. Fly this plane straight up here, land it, and enter Minax's castle. I'm going to have to hit Minax 10 times to win. That sounds like not much, but believe me, it's a pain. First thing I need to do, lure these guards into here. They're stuck now. They're stuck in the apothecary. I'm going to now steal some floor tiles until I get the other guards mad at me. Just take the floor tiles. There's the guards. Good, they're all mad. The town is now hostile to me. There's one of the other guards in the torture chamber. I need the other Balron to come up here, please. There it is. Good. And now there's 2 more Balrons. The ring protects against the field, by the way. You saw that maybe as I was walking through. These 2 Balrons can get trapped in the museum. And now I have clear lines to Minax. Ring protects from the field. If I'm not wearing the ring, the field does 1,000 points of damage every time I step through it. That makes this utterly impossible. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good, 1 hit. I need to hit her 9 more times. She teleports all the way across the map. Down here. If I had to fight my way through, I could be in serious trouble. 2 hits. And she has a most fantastic quote, actually, if you try to talk to her. Which I will if I get a good lead on her. 3 hits, good. 7 more to go. 7 more hits, and I can miss 17 times. Four, 6 more hits to go, and I can miss 16 more times. I got hit with a sleep spell there. Not particularly dangerous, because everything that's hostile to me is trapped, but that's fine. That was 2 misses, okay. 5 more hits to go. Now, I said everything in a town or a village hits for an additional 100 points of damage. Everything in a castle hits for an additional 200. So anything that... Come on, thank you. 4 more hits to go. Anything that would hit me in here would do an automatic 200 points of damage, plus somewhere between 1 and 40 for the basic damage. You would get very dead very quickly, is the point, if you had to fight your way through this. 3 more hits to go. We'll get my favorite quote. Starving to death is not unknown. It's not something that's ever happened to me, since I usually oversteal the food. But it can certainly happen. As you notice, the food is ticking down pretty quick. One more hit, and then it's time. Time on the next hit. I'll get her quote, because I like it. And it sounds really good when I boom it through this nice big open space. Here we go. A coward dies 1,000 deaths, a hero only one. Either way you lose! Minax is dead. Time. All her works shall die. And that's that. That is Ultima II, Revenge of the Enchantress. It's a game full of obscure and weird clues and very strange, unthinkably weird side paths. You can go to every planet in the solar system. This was still when Pluto was a planet. As well as Planet X. There are towns out there. You can go to Neptune and find the computer camp, and on the computer camp on Neptune you can find Richard Garriott, who complains that the game will be delivered very soon. You can't find a link to the Ultima Speedrun Discord or the regular one. I'm sure we can provide you one. I'm not sure if I can post a link in the chat, but I will try. Here we go. Let's try to get a link in the chat. Let's try and find the Ultima Speedrun Discord. That's the other one. There's Ultima Speedruns. See if I can get. You know what? I'm not technically skilled enough to get an invite link out of nowhere, so I'm going to pretend I didn't do that, and we'll hope someone else can help you out there. All right. Anyway, that's my game. Do it. Okay. Let's see if I can figure it out. Invite people. Copy. There we go. There we go. That should do it. Join us. There's a whole bunch of Ultima games. They're all varying degrees of weird and fun. Some of them are extremely broken in all sorts of amazing ways. Some of them are, some of them are just broken in normal ways. So, so yeah, there's, it's definitely a fun game to play. I'm not going to link back to my own channel. That would be a little bit rude. You can find me on Discord, on speedrun, Twitch. That's the one. You can find me on Twitch at organMike. I play some old games. I play the organ, hence the name. I do music streams once in a while. As I said, I stream from the sanctuary of a church. There's an organ behind me. Anyway, that's that. And I'll hang out here until we're ready to go. I love how weird that is. The weirdness that is the first few Ultima